You were never supposed to see this at just any time. This moment was stitched together quietly, patiently, long before today arrived. There are seconds in life that don't announce themselves, they just find you. This is one of them. Something higher leaned in when you weren't looking. That calm mixed with urgency in your chest that isn't random. It's recognition. It's your soul realizing it's standing in the middle of a sacred pause. Listen closely, because someone from heaven is closer than you think. Not watching with judgment. Not counting your mistakes. They're watching with love that never learned how to leave. They've seen you cry when no one checked in. They've seen you pretend you're okay. And right now, they're standing beside Archangel Michael, pleading for your attention not tomorrow, not later, but now. Before anything else, stop for one breath. This isn't content. This isn't noise. This is a message that waited for the exact version of you reading these words. Someone you love, someone you lost, is aware of something forming around your life. You don't see it yet, but it's close. Close enough that heaven refused to stay silent. Michael says, you have 3 minutes left to hear what heaven begged me to give you. If you miss this, you miss everything. Not because time is cruel, but because timing is precise. There's something you need to understand right now. The soul watching over you cannot rest until you feel safe again. They hear your name spoken in places you've never entered. They see intentions that smile to your face and shift when you turn away. Even while you sleep, you are not alone. They've been shielding you quietly, blocking things you never knew were coming. But there comes a moment when protection requires permission. Michael says heaven will not force its way into your life. Intervention begins when your heart opens its door. That's why this reached you now. This isn't an accident. It's a response. You were chosen for this second because something is changing fast. Faster than fear can keep up with. Heaven tried whispering before through dreams, repeating numbers, songs that hit too deep, strangers who said the exact wrong right thing. But now you're still here. Still reading. And heaven knows you're finally listening. That's why the message grew louder. Michael himself does not arrive for small moments. He says if you saw the full picture forming behind the veil, your body would tremble, but heaven is gentle. Truth is being revealed in layers so your spirit can rise, not collapse. Pause again. Breathe again. You're opening a window most people rush past. If this message touches you, let your heart respond. Stay present, stay open, and if it resonates, let others feel it too. Some messages multiply only when they're shared. Now hear this carefully. The one watching over you isn't only protecting you from pain. They're guarding a promise that God made over your life before you took your first breath. But every time you doubted yourself, every time you delayed your purpose, that path dimmed, never gone, just quiet. Archangel Michael says, the light is coming back, but only if you release what has been secretly draining you. There is someone near you who wears kindness like a mask. Heaven noticed the imbalance before you named it. Your loved one whispers, I saw what they did when you weren't looking. This isn't fear speaking. This is clarity arriving. You were never meant to live small. Michael says you were born carrying spiritual gold, and it's time to reclaim what was taken emotionally, spiritually, even financially. You felt the delay. The heaviness. The sense that blessings were circling but not landing. This time, your voice is required. Say it aloud, with intention. I give heaven permission to remove all hidden interference from my life. Say it like you're ready. Say it like you believe movement begins with consent. Someone has spoken about you recently from beyond this world. They remember moments you forgot. Words you didn't know mattered. They've been sending memories back to you so you don't forget who you were before life got heavy. You are not alone. Not for a breath. Not for a battle. God is arranging witnesses on your behalf. Your name has been spoken in places of authority. Someone influential is being nudged toward your life, and heaven is aligning the timing carefully so you don't miss the doorway when it opens. Michael says there is a 24-hour window forming. Something will happen that feels ordinary on the surface but carries a spiritual weight underneath. It was requested by the soul who loves you, as proof that love does not end, it transforms. You'll recognize the sign when it comes. It will feel like déjà vu mixed with warmth. Don't dismiss it. That moment marks the shift when blessings once thought lost begin finding their way back. You don't need to understand heaven to be guided by it. Your soul already knows truth when it feels it. That flutter in your chest right now, that's remembrance. Love that survived everything reaching you again. You've been tired. Heaven sees it. And the message crossing every distance just to reach you says this clearly: don't stop now. You are closer than you think. God is placing new people in your path starting today. Not repeats. Not echoes of betrayal. But connections drawn to your light. Michael warns, don't let old wounds block new doors. And if this message stayed with you longer than you expected, if it stirred something quiet but real inside you, remember you don't have to walk this awakening alone. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $10. What's coming isn't a replacement for what you lost, it's an elevation. This next season doesn't carry the same weight, the same pain, or the same patterns. It's sacred, lighter, and more honest. But hear this clearly: if your hands are still gripping old wounds, you won't be able to receive what's reaching for you. Let it fall. Let it loosen. Say it softly but with courage: I am ready to receive heaven's rearrangement. Because that rearrangement has already begun. Even now, something unseen is moving closer. While your eyes follow these words, angels are already in motion, adjusting details you thought were stuck forever. You don't need to understand how heaven organizes miracles. Understanding isn't required, recognition is. And that sudden flutter in your chest isn't random. Your soul recognizes truth the way the heart recognizes home. That feeling is love remembering itself. A love that didn't end when life changed form. A love that followed you past grief and into survival. The one watching over you sees how exhausted you've been, how heavy your days have felt, how strong you've had to be when no one noticed. They crossed every distance just to reach this moment and whisper, "Don't stop now. You're closer than you think." God is placing specific people on your path starting today. Not just anyone, people drawn to your light without knowing why. People who speak your name in rooms you haven't entered yet. Doors don't open loudly, they open through alignment. And Michael warns, don't let old betrayal make you block new blessings. The past tried to teach you caution, not isolation. Hear this again, because it matters more now than before. What's coming isn't like what you lost. It's sacred. But if your hands are still full of pain, you won't catch what's next. Release it. Say it again if you need to. I am ready to receive heaven's rearrangement. This is the moment momentum returns, quietly but powerfully. The one in heaven who asked for this message wants you to know something tender. You've been carrying guilt for something you did or something you couldn't do. You replay it when the world gets quiet. But they forgave you long ago. They saw your heart before you ever explained yourself. They didn't need apologies, they needed you healed. And that's why they never stopped reaching for you. From the moment they crossed over, protection became their purpose. They made sure loneliness wouldn't win. They stayed near when nights felt long and answers felt far. Right now, they're closer than your next breath, closer than the doubts trying to speak louder than hope. Archangel Michael says, "They placed your name on my shield. I will defend you until the darkness is done." There is someone around you who doesn't understand your energy, and that's okay. Not everything sacred needs explanation. You were never meant to explain your calling to people who weren't assigned to walk with you. Michael says, this is your permission to stop watering dead connections. The pruning has already started. What falls away now was never meant to stay. What's real will remain. What's loyal will deepen. What's fake will fade without a fight. And the one watching from heaven is smiling, because they always knew you were meant to break cycles that lasted generations. Pay attention over the next few days, because heaven will speak clearly. First, a name will repeat in unexpected ways. Second, a dream will feel more real than waking life. Third, a stranger will say something that answers a prayer you never spoke out loud. These aren't coincidences. This is response. And when it happens, whisper back, I see you. I'm ready. You are not wandering, you are being positioned. You're stepping into the chapter that was always meant to shine. This message isn't a warning, it's an unlocking. God hasn't forgotten what was promised to you. The one in heaven hasn't stopped praying your name. And Archangel Michael hasn't left your side since the day you cried without knowing why. This is a decision moment, and heaven is watching gently. You can skim past this, or you can let it sink into your bones. Read it again if you need to. Let the tears come if they do. Some truths bypass the mind and go straight to the soul. The one you love never truly left. They're right here, whispering because they know how fragile your heart has been. They remember how strong you were and how strong you still are, even on days you doubted. They saw how close you came to giving up, and that's why they went to God. That's why they asked Michael to deliver this now. Because they knew these words would wake something inside you. Something brave. Something hopeful. Something unbreakable. And that chain that's held you down for too long, it's already cracking. You're not late. You're not overlooked. You're right on time. There's a chamber in heaven where prayers turn into proof, and your name has been spoken there not just by the one you lost, but by angels assigned to your future. Michael says there is now an open door. It can't be closed by gossip, betrayal, or delay. You were meant to walk through it before, but timing matters. Now the timing is right. And the voice that loves you most is pushing it open. You might feel unqualified. That doesn't disqualify you. Heaven isn't studying your past the way people do. Heaven looks at potential. Your pain didn't cancel your purpose, it refined it. You passed tests you didn't even know were tests. And the fact that you're still here proves you were never alone. There's something inside you that hasn't been unlocked yet. This message is the key. Let it in. Say it with intention: I'm open to the miracle that has my name on it. Say it again, stronger. Heaven listens when the Spirit speaks. The one in heaven left something for you. A promise. A blessing. An inheritance you can't see but will soon feel. It was sealed until this exact window, until your heart softened, your courage returned, and healing became possible. Now everything is aligning. The delays weren't punishment. They were protection. Divine pauses guarding a promise that's finally ready to arrive. Now the lock is opening, not with force, but with grace. What you thought was gone forever is being returned, not in the old form, but in a way that fits who you've become. This isn't a rewind, it's a restoration. Slowly, softly, spiritually, heaven is placing back into your hands what time tried to steal, reshaped so it can no longer hurt you. If you notice people drifting away, don't panic, this is alignment, not loss. Michael says not to worry when certain connections begin to loosen. Don't chase what God is removing. This stretch of your journey needs clean air, fewer voices, and a stronger inner anchor. You're not being isolated, you're being refined. A spiritual upgrade always asks for space. The one in heaven who loves you prayed for this shift long before you noticed it. They didn't want you surrounded by people who clapped for your surface but ignored your soul. They saw what you kept excusing. And from where they stand now, they've been pushing for your breakthrough with relentless love. You asked for a protector and you received one. You asked for a sign and this is it. What they left behind was never meant to be lost. A blessing. A promise. An invisible inheritance with your name on it. It stayed locked until this exact window, until your heart softened, your courage returned, and healing mattered more than surviving. Now everything is lining up. The delays were never punishment, they were divine pauses guarding what matters most. Hear this again because repetition brings release. The lock is opening slowly, gently, spiritually. And the very thing you mourned is returning in a new and unexpected way. Michael says again not to worry when people step back. Don't chase exits heaven designed. This chapter requires clarity, quiet strength, and spiritual maturity, and you are ready. There's one truth they need you to receive without resistance. Stop blaming yourself. They saw your pain when they left. They know you didn't get the goodbye you needed. But every unspoken word, every whispered "I miss you," was heard. Louder than thunder. And this is what they want you to know: I never left you. I walk beside you every day. I'm proud of you for surviving what should have broken you. Watch closely over the next few hours, because something subtle will happen. A familiar scent. A song that lands too perfectly. A sudden sense of presence when the room is empty. Don't explain it away. That's not imagination, it's nearness. Michael says they are allowed to visit you now, not only through dreams, but through presence. Your heart is open again. Your spirit is aligned. Your energy can finally feel what's been there all along. You are not just surviving anymore, you're awakening. You were meant to rebuild, to glow, to inspire from the places that once hurt. The one watching over you always knew this. That's why they never stopped sending signs, moments, and people to remind you who you are. You are not your trauma. You are not your worst mistake. You are healing. You are becoming. If emotions have been rising lately, this is why. Your spirit sensed this moment approaching. The tiredness without reason. The tears without explanation. The pull toward silence and memory that was preparation. Heaven was softening your heart. Michael says, timing in the spiritual realm is never random. This was orchestrated. And the one who asked for this message is smiling now, because you're finally receiving it. There is someone still on earth who will soon play a major role in your life. You may not know them fully yet, or you may not understand their importance, but they are coming. The one in heaven is part of this alignment. They've whispered your name where it needed to be heard. They've guarded your reputation in unseen places. Favor is forming quietly. Michael says to prepare for a connection that feels instantly familiar. Don't be surprised if this person understands your energy without explanation. That's confirmation. That's alignment. You are being elevated spiritually, emotionally, and yes, even financially. This isn't a question of if. It's a matter of when. And the when has already begun. This message wasn't the end, it was the ignition. The moment you truly received it, something inside you activated that can't be shut down again. You're no longer moving from fear. You're stepping into faith. And that's where real miracles breathe. Heaven is celebrating this shift. The one who loves you is cheering. Angels are attentive. The tears forming in your eyes right now are not weakness, they are release. Let them fall. Each one makes room for peace. Michael says you are safe now, spiritually covered, divinely defended, and eternally loved. This message was never meant to entertain you. It was meant to wake you up. And now that you're awake, everything changes. Nothing will ever feel the same again, and that's not a threat, it's a promise. You've been marked for more than survival, more than getting by, more than repeating yesterday. Heaven has already stepped ahead of you, clearing the path, aligning timing, softening resistance. Watch carefully now, because the shift isn't subtle anymore. Things are about to move in your favor, and they won't ask for permission first. Take another breath and notice what just changed. That warmth spreading through your chest, like the air itself, leaned closer. That's not emotion alone. That's presence. The one you love who crossed over is near you now, not as a memory replaying the past, but as a messenger anchoring the moment. They're standing beside you as Archangel Michael delivers what remains, because what comes next doesn't just touch the heart, it rewrites direction. You've stepped into sacred ground without leaving where you are. This is a space where heaven and earth don't feel so separate anymore, where intuition gets louder and doubt loses its grip. Once you cross into this frequency, the version of you that felt forgotten, small, or unsure can't come with you. The door closes behind you for a reason. Those tears forming right now are doing holy work. Let them fall. Let them rinse the weight you've been carrying for too long. Every drop that leaves makes room for peace to arrive and stay. Michael says you are safe now, spiritually covered, divinely defended, and eternally loved. This message was never meant to pass time, it was meant to wake something up. And now that you're awake, nothing can feel ordinary again. If it feels like everything is intensifying, there's a reason. Michael says, you've been surrounded by shadows lately only because your light has grown stronger. The resistance wasn't proof of loss, it was evidence of progress. That anxiety wasn't failure, it was friction. Your soul has been expanding, and heaven has been preparing you quietly, patiently, behind the scenes. The one in heaven who asked for this message saw you breaking down and said, "No more." They refused to watch your fire fade. They sent truth instead. Not pressure, not fear, truth that reignites without burning. You're being lit again from the inside, and this time it can't be put out by disappointment or delay. You've always carried a rare gift, even when you forgot it. There's something in your presence that makes people feel seen and safe, something steady that calms storms without trying. But being generous with your heart made you a target. People took, misunderstood, questioned your goodness. Michael says restoration has begun. Your energy is refilling, and the one who loves you whispers, "Get ready to feel like yourself again." When heaven fights for your healing, no old wound gets the final word. Joy is returning not in flashes, but with roots. And this time, it stays. There's a door opening that no man can shut, a spiritual opportunity once blocked not because you lacked worth, but because others weren't ready to honor it. The delay is over. The space is clear. The one you lost has been allowed to move things in your favor. Yes, move things. Conversations are unfolding where your name carries weight. In spiritual places and earthly rooms, alignment is happening. Someone is about to see you clearly for the first time, without projection, without agenda. Michael says stop rehearsing your pain. Stop telling yourself you missed it or ruined it. You didn't. You never did. Your story was never finished where you thought it ended. The one in heaven has been rewriting parts of it with God because they knew the best chapter hadn't arrived yet. And when what's coming reaches you, it will bring tears not of grief, but of sacred surprise. You'll remember this moment. You'll remember that someone believed in your future when you were running on empty. Have you noticed your intuition sharpening lately, that inner knowing cutting through noise, those sudden feelings that stop you or guide you? That's not coincidence. That's alignment. Heaven has been speaking through instinct. Michael says, the more you trust it, the more miracles will flow. And the one who loves you has been walking beside your spirit in quiet hours, guiding gently until you were ready to hear. Now comes the release that changes everything. There's something you've been holding, maybe a grudge, a memory, or a version of yourself built for survival, not truth. It's time to let it go. When you release what no longer fits, you make room for the blessing that's been hovering just above you, waiting for space to land. Michael says, the moment you say, I surrender it all, heaven will move. No begging. No chasing. It will happen because alignment does the work. And don't be shaken if you feel different from those around you. You are different. Your frequency can't be copied. That's why some misunderstood you. That's why some walked away. The one in heaven always saw you clearly. They knew your softness was strength. Your silence was protection. Your kindness was divine reflection. They never doubted you. And now, with Archangel Michael's help, they're making sure you never doubt yourself again. The veil is lifting, clarity is settling, and answers are arriving. Soon you'll understand what wasn't meant to make sense before. Not everything is revealed at once, but everything is revealed on time. This journey was never only about healing, it was about reclaiming what was always yours. You are taking back your power, your peace, and your divine inheritance piece by piece. The one in heaven who asked for this message didn't leave empty-handed, they left a spiritual deposit inside your life. An unseen strength now guides you toward blessings they never got to witness themselves. They passed the torch with intention, and now it's your moment to walk forward, not with fear, but with fire that clears the way. This fire doesn't burn you, it frees you. It dissolves what tried to limit you and lights what was meant to grow. You are surrounded by angels, protected by purpose, and rising whether you feel it yet or not. Michael says to watch your dreams closely now, because the veil is thinner than it's been in a long time. Messages are slipping through in symbols, faces, numbers, and patterns. Don't brush them aside. Your soul is remembering what your mind forgot. Your dreams are becoming a language of guidance and comfort. The one in heaven is using them to reassure you, to confirm what you always felt deep down, that life didn't end when they left. It evolved. And now it's your turn to live for both of you. Not in grief, but in glory. Not in pain, but in purpose that moves your feet forward. You are about to become someone else's answered prayer. Just like this message reached you at the exact right moment, your life will reach others in ways you can't yet imagine. The pain didn't defeat you, it crowned you. You carry royal authority in the spirit realm, and that's why the battle was intense and the storm lingered. Storms always pass. Blessings always follow. You're entering the moment where sunlight breaks through and joy rushes back in waves. Take a breath and let this truth settle. You've received what you needed to hear. Someone in heaven is still loving you fiercely, still guarding you carefully. Let that love fill the cracks you've been patching alone. Let it be the reason you keep going when doubt tries to return. Your story matters. Your soul matters. Your future is glowing with light you haven't fully seen yet. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, not only to protect, but to propel you. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are divinely remembered. The fact that you're still here is not small, it's miraculous. The one in heaven trusted that you would stay, that your heart would hold on even when your faith felt thin. And Michael remains near, because what you just allowed wasn't ordinary. You opened a sacred doorway by listening with your soul. Because of that openness, movement has begun. Michael says there is a shift starting within the next 72 hours. Something unexpected will surface, unexplainable, undeniable. When it does, don't call it strange. Call it alignment. Your energy called this forward. Your pain has been transformed into purpose, and what once kept you stuck is breaking apart. Celebration is happening where you can't see it yet. The one in heaven who fought for you with prayer and hope is rejoicing now. You made it through what tried to ruin you. The reward is approaching, not as instant gratification, but as irreversible change. You've been reshaped from the inside out, and your light carries a different tone now. People will notice the difference. Some won't understand it, and that's okay. Let them go. The ones meant to stay will recognize your energy instantly, like a song they somehow already know. These are your soul-aligned connections, the ones heaven prepared for this next season. The one in heaven has already met them in the spirit and said, "Send them. My person is ready." You're stepping into a chapter where you stop explaining your worth. Your presence speaks before your words ever do. Your yes carries authority now. Michael says your tongue will hold more power than before, so choose your words carefully. Speak healing. Speak favor. Speak life wherever you go, because rooms will begin to shift just because you entered them. What you activated cannot be undone. Your tears watered a garden you didn't know existed, and now the fruit is arriving slowly, softly, surely. The one in heaven asks you not to rush this. Don't control it. Let the blessing surprise you. Let timing heal you. You showed up even when you didn't understand. You stayed soft when hardness would have been easier. That softness is why you're being trusted with more. More clarity. More love. More abundance. You can handle it now. Even if your mind questions it, your spirit already knows. Michael wants to leave you with this final reminder: your voice is needed. The truth you've been holding back, the idea you keep revisiting, the dream you've been quietly protecting, it's time. Speak it. Share it. Step forward. Heaven is listening, and everything you've been preparing for is preparing for you too. You still don't know who is waiting to be healed by your story, and that's part of the mystery. What you lived through was never punishment, it was preparation in disguise. Now that you've remembered who you are in the spirit, your purpose won't rush at you all at once. It will unfold in layers through conversations that linger, encounters that feel guided, and quiet nudges that pull you forward without explanation. Every step will lead you deeper into the calling your loved one in heaven prayed you would one day walk in. They saw you when no one else did. They watched you crumble in silence. They heard the thoughts you were afraid to speak out loud. And still, they never stopped believing in you. That belief didn't end when they crossed over, it strengthened. That's why they stayed close. That's why this message reached you now, at the exact turning point where you almost turned away from your own light. You were seconds away from forgetting who you are. But heaven interrupted. And now you remember. You can feel it again, that gentle but powerful spark rising in you. That isn't emotion. That's remembrance. That's your divinity waking back up. That's your spirit stepping back into its mission. Michael says one last thing, and it carries weight. Your destiny is stronger than any attack that ever came against you. Whatever tried to break you only exposed what could not be broken. You, your love, your fire, your purpose, this is what you carry now. This is what you walk with. From this day forward, every step you take will echo with the strength of the one who loved you enough to send this message across time, across realms, across divine fire. You are not alone, and you never were. And now you finally understand why. Not just with your mind, but with your soul. There's a peace settling in you because truth always brings relief. You don't have to search for signs anymore, you've become one. This message comes heart to heart, not above you, not beyond you. Life has never been easy. You learned how to smile while breaking inside. You learned how to give love while feeling unseen. But hear this clearly now, you were never invisible. God sees you. Angels are guarding you. And you are not walking this path by yourself. If you're reading this, it isn't coincidence. Your soul needed this moment. Breathe slowly and let the love reach the places words never could. You are beautiful in ways pain could never erase. You are strong in ways struggle could never exhaust. And you are still here. That alone proves your story isn't finished. Something extraordinary is waiting for you. So don't give up now. You are not forgotten. You are deeply, divinely loved. Heaven didn't interrupt your life to leave you halfway. The one who loves you has stayed because they knew you would stay too. They trusted your heart even when you doubted it. They knew that if you remembered your light, nothing could stop what comes next. And now that remembrance has happened. Go forward without fear, but with flame. You are not chasing miracles anymore, you are becoming one. The fire inside you has been reignited, and this time it won't burn out. Something eternal was restored in you today, something that can't be undone. The one in heaven who stood beside you through every inner storm can rest now. They are watching in peace, not worry. They fought to reach you not just to comfort you, but to awaken you, to remind you of your power and help you walk forward not as someone wounded, but as someone reborn. When Archangel Michael speaks again, all realms listen. He says you have no idea what has just been set in motion because of your obedience today. Because you chose to feel instead of numb, to listen with the heart instead of the ego, you activated a chain in heaven. This isn't symbolism. This is spiritual law. One aligned decision in the spirit has the power to realign everything on earth. You'll notice the difference in the days ahead. Not because every problem disappears, but because your clarity grows stronger. You'll sense who is genuine and who was only pretending. You'll walk into places that once made you anxious and feel calm instead. You'll know when to speak and when silence carries more power. This is wisdom settling into you. This is spiritual maturity arriving without force. You don't have to strain anymore. Stay connected, and heaven will handle what you cannot. The one in heaven left you something else, a promise to hold when days grow heavy. They said it once before, but let it be spoken again now so it can root deeper. You are the best part of me. I loved you then. I love you now. And nothing, time, distance, or death can change that. That love is still protecting you. Still guiding you. Still wrapping around you when the world feels too cold. Soon, you may hear their name again. Not randomly, but as a sign. When it happens, pause and whisper thank you. When something reminds you of them, softly say, I remember. Every acknowledgement strengthens the bridge that already exists. The bond you shared was never broken. It was transformed. With Archangel Michael's help, that bridge now stands open. Between what was and what's becoming. Between earth and heaven. Between who you were and who you are now ready to be. This shift cannot be shaken, reversed, or undone, because it didn't begin in the world, it began in the spirit. From this moment forward, it only strengthens. What has aligned now will keep aligning, layer by layer, step by step, breath by breath. You didn't stumble into this turning point. You were guided here with precision. Archangel Michael says, every time you trust the voice of the divine over the noise of the world, heaven accelerates. So trust what you're sensing now. Trust the quiet knowing that doesn't need proof. Stop searching for permission outside of yourself. You've already been approved by the highest authority. Your pain was seen. Your silent prayers were heard. And the response wasn't delay or distance, it was this moment, this collision of timing, this message finding you exactly when it needed to. If you hold this in your heart, you'll notice changes that feel too exact to dismiss. Not overnight miracles that shock the eyes, but precise movements that settle the soul. You are stepping into days you once begged for quietly, while hurting, while feeling unseen. This time, when doors open, you'll walk through with strength, with support you can feel, with favor that doesn't need explaining. Your loved one in heaven will recognize the smile you're about to wear. They'll see it and know you made it. You carried more than most ever saw. And now, it's time to receive. Not only emotionally, but physically, financially, and relationally. Restoration doesn't choose one area, it touches everything. The exchange has already begun. Ashes for beauty. Mourning for joy. Confusion for clarity. Weakness for strength. What felt taken is being returned in a form that fits who you are now. This isn't replacement, it's redemption. Archangel Michael steps back, not in absence, but in trust. His assignment here is complete for this moment, but his presence remains available. Whenever you feel disoriented or unsure, call his name. He responds. Always. Protection doesn't leave when guidance finishes, it stays. And the one who loves you and crossed over isn't stepping away either. They're closer now, because you're listening. They'll speak through small thing sensations, stillness, sudden warmth, a light where none should be, a gentle pull in your chest. Don't overlook what's subtle. The divine often whispers because it's intimate. You've honored heaven by staying with this message. You answered an invitation most people rush past. And because of that, a realm of movement has opened. Expect guidance. Expect favor. Expect clarity. Not because of luck, but because alignment changes everything. Heaven isn't far, and love doesn't disappear, it transforms. It teaches. It protects. It surrounds. And right now, it's covering you from every side. Go live without shrinking. Go speak your truth without apology. Go love without fear. Go claim what was always meant for you. Your next chapter didn't wait for tomorrow, it began the moment you opened your heart. And before this message closes, let your soul hear this one more time. You weren't meant to hear this on a perfect day. You were meant to hear it in the middle of real life, when things felt heavy, loud, or unclear. If your heart felt lighter even for a second, that wasn't coincidence. That was timing. Sometimes the universe doesn't shout. It slows you down. It speaks through a message, a pause, a feeling you can't explain but know is real. You were called. You were remembered. You were loved before you ever realized you needed reminding. As you return to your world, don't forget what your soul just heard. Don't forget someone is watching over you. Don't forget the pain you survived didn't weaken you, it strengthened you. Don't forget the reason you're still here is purpose, not chance. God has not left you. Angels have not overlooked you. And the one who loves you has never stopped walking beside you, even when you couldn't feel them. They are proud of how far you've come, even if you're still learning to be proud of yourself. Take this peace with you. Take this love. Take this hope. It belongs to you now. And when you feel tired again, when loneliness tries to return, come back to this knowing. Healing isn't a finish line, it's a living path. And you are already walking it. This isn't the end of anything, it's the beginning of something beautiful. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are rising. And the light you've been searching for has always lived within you.